She's going to tell us her story of hope. Samantha. It's Samantha.
Hello everyone. My name is Samantha Strasser and I'm a 16-year-old junior in high school. And for the past 8 years, I've been fighting several chronic illnesses, including POTS, gastroparesis, severe dysmotility, and the reason we are all here today, CRPS. Yep, that's half of my teenage life dealing with these conditions. I was 8 when I first started to develop symptoms of CRPS, which for me was severe pain in my right ankle. But I wasn't properly diagnosed until I was 12. For 4 years, I dealt with doctors rolling their eyes at me, telling me that the pain was all in my head. But through countless numbers of tests and procedures, and had to stop many of the after-school activities I loved, like competitive dance and martial arts. When I was 8, I was the cute little girl who always wore the huge flower headbands to physical therapy, which was filled with high school athletes and adults. By the time I was 9, I knew all of my insurance information, and I was practically a professional patient. I remember being in the hospital for one of the first times when I was 11, and I was considered one of the younger kids. I was taken to the playroom, and the nurses always made sure I was happy and protected me from all of the scary stuff that happens in hospitals. Then, when I was 12 years old, I was in an intensive boot camp for my CRPS when an occupational therapist rubbed sandpaper against my ankle and told me that if I cried, I would get in serious trouble because the pain was all in my head. That single incident left an open wound that took years to heal, changed the way I saw medical professionals, and caused something called allodynia, which is a common symptom of CRPS, which is severe pain that's triggered by the simplest things like wind or rain touching the affected limb. I was in 7th grade dealing with typical middle school drama, and I couldn't even wear shoes that touched the back of my foot. And I always had to come up with excuses to my friends as to why I couldn't be outside on rainy or windy days. I feel like I blinked and now I'm 16 years old. I'm one of the older patients in the children's hospital, and now I'm the one helping my little roommates deal with being in the hospital. I look exactly like the typical demographic of the people at the same physical therapy place. There's no one asking me my favorite color, which is blue in case you were wondering. Instead of playing with toys in the waiting room, now I'm just the teen trying to study for her upcoming AP World exam because I miss so much school. And I can't stand missing. I fight like hell to go to full days of school because I can't stand missing it and being homeschooled like I was for my freshman year of high school. Instead of going to dance class after school, I go to appointments every day just to try to stay out of the hospital. When I was 8, I never would have thought that 8 years later I would still be sick. Out of the 19 holistic treatments, more than 37 doctors I've seen, most of whom are the best in their field, 2 surgeries, and countless numbers of tests and procedures, that I wouldn't be better by now. That I would be worse. That over time, every system in my body, from my GI tract to my heart, would be affected by my faulty autonomic nervous system. Growing up with chronic illnesses stink, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Sometimes I feel like my chronic illnesses have robbed me. Robbed me of my trust, robbed me of my childhood, robbed me of my innocence, robbed me of a normal high school experience. I feel like my chronic illnesses have taken so much from me. I just want to steal something from them. Anything that could hurt them nearly as much as they hurt me. But recently, I found something that I can steal from my chronic illness. I've decided that I will take all of the lessons I have learned from all the pain and suffering and use them to live a happier life. So you know what? Thank you, chronic illness. Thank you for teaching me not to sweat the small stuff. Thank you for teaching me how to stand up for myself so I will never be that 12-year-old girl who listened when doctors told her that her pain was all in her head. Thank you for teaching me that it's okay not to be okay all the time. Thank you for letting me know who my real friends are. Thank you for helping me prove to myself that I am stronger than I think. Thank you for making me wiser and a better human in the world. Thank you for making me grateful for everything my body can do, despite what it can't. Thank you for teaching me to stop and smell the roses. Rather than thinking that chronic illnesses have taken from me, it's time that I start taking from them and thanking them for teaching me. Thank you very much. addition, I am working on my Girl Scout Gold Award, and I have a little poster board over there. It's all about managing chronic illness in school. So any kids or parents with chronic illness, if you wouldn't mind going over there and taking a little survey I have, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.